Hey everyone, this is Laura with Laura Academic Astrology, and I'm here to give you the astrology for February 24th through March 1st, 2020. So, starting on February 24th, which is a Monday, we have the Sun in Pisces making a sextile to Mars in Capricorn. And so this is generally a really good day to get things done, to be productive, to take action. There is probably going to be a sense of having a lot of motivation to work on whatever it is that you want to work on and spend your energy on. And remember, sextiles, things don't necessarily happen to you. It's more about taking advantage of the energy and using it to do what you will. So that is the 24th, Monday. On the 25th, on Tuesday, we have the Sun making a conjunction, or I guess I should say Mercury making a conjunction with the Sun. So remember, Mercury is retrograde right now, so it's been traveling backwards. It's been traveling backwards over territory that it's already passed over. And so this is a special conjunction. Whenever planets are conjunct the Sun, it's called cazimi. And it's a really special placement because it's kind of like that planet has, the Sun gives that planet honor in some way. Like if we think of the Sun as a king in ancient times, a planet that's cazimi the Sun, or like right on top of the Sun, is like right next to the king and can whisper in the king's ear and receive messages from the king himself. And Mercury retrograde in general is a time for reflection, review, thinking things over, and whatever part of your chart it's traveling over, there's going to be a sense of reviewing that area of your life, thinking things over, mulling things over, reflection, etc. And so Mercury cazimi is always a time of potential insight, understanding, getting that kind of secret insight from the king, and the king being an archetypal image that we all have inside of us. So kind of getting insight or understanding into your own will, into your own mind, into what it is you truly desire. And on the same day, we have Mercury making a sextile to Mars in Capricorn. So Mars is all about doing things quickly, sometimes a little bit impulsively. Mercury representing our mind and how we communicate. This could be totally associated with having quick thoughts, maybe even talking really quickly or sharply. Be careful what you say. Be careful about speaking impulsively or automatically. But it's generally a good energy to act on ideas, to put words into action. It's just a good time probably for planning, for anything that involves some degree of mental activity, maybe not too much because Mercury is still in retrograde in Pisces, but definitely being able to put words into action. So that is February 25th, Tuesday. And then on February 28th, on Friday, we have Venus and Aries making a square to Pluto in Capricorn. Squares can be a little bit tense or conflict-filled. And Venus is all about relationships and how we relate to other people and how we invite others to us, how we attract. Also sometimes connected with finances and beauty and the arts and women. It's a very feminine energy. But generally speaking, Venus's goal in the zodiac is to help us unite with others, to attract things to us. And Pluto is a planet that wants to dig deep and get to the root of the matter, get to the bottom of things, research and investigate. And so sometimes that can be a little bit uncomfortable for Venus because Venus doesn't necessarily want to look deeply. She just wants to keep the peace and be diplomatic and create harmony in relationships. But Venus and Aries, Venus, I think I mentioned this a couple videos back, Venus struggles in Aries because they have opposite goals. Venus as a planet wants to unite, wants to attract, and Aries as a sign wants to sever, wants to separate, wants to individuate, and go forth on his own. And so, Venus has to be really creative in and trying to do what she wants to do and meet her goals in the sign of Aries. And so this could really look like potential power struggles coming up in relationships. Pluto can also be a planet that is a little bit controlling, manipulative on the more negative side. But the conflict could come up that might bring you to a deeper understanding or bring you to root issues in relationships. But generally speaking, getting to that point might be a bit uncomfortable because, once again, Venus likes to keep the peace. She doesn't necessarily like to dig deep into like the root motivation that people may have or dig deep into root issues because that's uncomfortable. And Venus really likes comfort. So there's definitely going to be some deeper inquiring in terms of relationships. Once again, Venus wants to get along, but in Aries, getting along might first mean running into conflict, coming to common ground, figuring out where, you and another person stands, and understanding that and creating peace through the differences, but without compromising where you want to stand or where you feel that you are standing. And if it's like a conflict, and also understanding that sometimes keeping the peace and bringing harmony and beauty in relationships sometimes means doing things independently and not necessarily uniting, not necessarily being so together. Like Venus naturally wants to be agreeable, wants to agree with you on any issue that you feel strongly about. But Venus in Aries is a little bit more like, okay, like we have to create harmony through the conflict. And sometimes conflict is necessary first before we can even have harmony. And so it's a little bit trickier for Venus and Aries. And then with the square to Pluto, there's this element of needing to dig deeply to find the gold of true connection and true unity, really needing to go deep, find the root issue in order to create harmony. So this is Friday. You might even feel it Thursday, the 27th, probably on Saturday as well. So it's not it's not uniquely to Friday. You might be feeling it a little before and after. Let's see. Also on Friday, Mercury in Pisces makes a sextile to Uranus and Taurus. So Mercury, once again, how we communicate, how we think, our minds, how we process information, how we generate ideas, and Uranus being a planet all about innovation and revolution and revelation, doing things differently or outside of the box. So this is a great time to brainstorm about new ideas, new direction. You could be having some really brilliant or innovative ideas, having some mental breakthroughs, maybe potential change of plans, new ideas about direction. Maybe it's new ideas about what you are reviewing and reflecting over. Because remember, this is still Mercury retrograde, and there's that element of reflection and review over whatever area of your life it's passing through. And having, this sextile to Uranus really meaning potential breakthroughs and innovative ideas as to what you're processing, as to what you're reflecting upon. So definitely keep an eye out and be self-aware that day of like what comes up, and use the energy to get to understand whatever it is you're mulling over, or having some sort of insight that day. There's definitely potential for that as well. Okay, so that is the transits for this week, and I will be back next week for another update. All right, have a great week.